Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. Nothing like a dram of rum to refresh the palate.
Oh, yeah. I agree, Master Tavern Keeper.
Oh, no. I'd recommend you stick to the ale, Heinrich. We don't want you passing out and getting taken away by the rats again, do we?
Oh, yeah, I most certainly do not. Sowieso, let us change the subject. And, well, let's hear about what the life of one of your typical Manannites is like then. And perhaps I'll then tell you if such a patron as the Lord of the Seas appeals to me.
Ach, I reckon I already know your answer, Heinrich. But come on, Septimus. Why don't you get back to your tale telling? Ha! Indeed I will. Well, the current head of the cult of Manann, the matriarch of the sea, and I suppose mistress is perhaps more correct. Anyway, the spiritual leader of the Order of the Albatross, Engla Brack, told me this about life in the cult of Manann.
Oh, so you want to know what life is like in our little cult, do you, young Septimus? Why, it'll be my pleasure to tell you all. Noon, our little cult of Manann spreads its fins across the Empire and beyond. We have temples all along the coast of the Sea of Claws, as well as around the Tylean Sea to the south. But our beating heart is in Marienburg, where the aging patriarch of the sea, the master of the Order of the Albatross, sits. A position he has assured me, his most loyal high priestess here in Outlaw, will be mine upon his deathbed. And by Manann have I earned it. But that is not a tale for young ears. To be honest, I'll be glad to get out of here. The old wooden temple here in Altdorf is rotting. If you venture down into the crypt, the smell of mould is choking. And our recent squirrel infestation, and again, thank you, Saskia, once again, for helping with that. Well, it was truly the last straw for me. I want out of Altdorf.
Oh, yeah.
And so did the old patriarch keep his word? Did this Engla Brack become the head of the cult on his deathbed?
Ah, she did, and he did keep his word. He managed to cling on for another decade and a half, though, before finally kicking the bucket, with one of his last acts being the authorization of funds to be sent to the near-ruined temple of Sartosa. Of course, all that didn't go so well, as we spoke about earlier. Anyway, Engla was actually with the old man in Marienburg when he passed, as it happens. Apparently, he died of heart failure due to, overexcitement. I think it might be improper of me, though, to repeat some of the rumours that were flying about at the time. Let's keep our conversation out of the gutter and continue. Noon, we are a hands-on religion, though. Our priests work hard both ashore and at sea. It is far from uncommon for our members to be recruited as navigators and pilots, Noon, or even as simple, able-bodied sailors. Most discerning captains have realized that having a priest of Manann aboard brings with it both the blessings of Manann himself and a large dollop of good luck.
Our influence is most obvious in Nordland, but it's also growing in Marienburg too, and we have a small number of seats on the Baron's Advisory Council, the Staatsrat, with the Baron himself often consulting with us on certain matters of trade, defence and diplomacy. For we keep our fingers on the pulse of the struggles of the common folk of the city, and have much insight there. And our strength can be found beyond the confines of the Empire too, be it in the coastal cities such as Languille and Bordeaux in Bretonnia, and, as I just mentioned earlier, the Tylian city-states of Maragliano and Remas. Soon, as you may or may not be aware, young Septimus, an important part of the strength and vitality of the Empire rests upon its navy on the high seas, and the strong backs and callous hands of the huffers who work on the various waterways of the Old World. Our job is to act as a liaison, as they say in Bretonnia, between the common sailor and riverman and Lord Manann, securing his protection and blessings as we, mere mortals, work within his realm. For without these, we would be at the mercy of the fickle sea herself. Thus, young Septimus, before you step foot on any boat, be sure to offer up a prayer to Manann, for to forget is to court doom.
Oh, that's very interesting. And so, what prayers are y'all saying when you step onto your coracles and whatnot then?
Coracle. What is a coracle?
Apprentice Morelli. Of course. You lot were asleep when we were talking about all that earlier. Well, it's a tiny one-man boat that we use in Albion. Oh, yeah. When you spoke about your Isle of Wights, you mentioned one, as I recall. But, in answer to your question, Master Alchemist, well, my grandpapa taught me the following prayer. Manann be praised, for he is the breeze to take us out. Manann be praised, for he is the wave to bring us home. Manann be praised, for he is the food to feed us. Manann be praised, or his be the wrath that drowns us. Ah, yes, that's one of the more common ones. We often use that one. And another one we often used on the old boat was this. Blessed be Manann, who hears the sound of my prayers. Manann be my strength and my shield, in whom my life I entrust. And if I am helped, my heart shall rejoice, and with song shall I praise Manann. But there were many. Why don't we get back to what Engla was saying, eh?
Of course, it is our priests who know the best and most powerful of prayers, which makes us all but indispensable to the wisest of seamen, and elicits generous donations from dockyards and fleet owners up and down the country. Sure, we have our critics for so directly combining politics, commerce, and faith, in particular from the cult of Heinrich. But these gripes merely come from a place of jealousy, and so we pay them no mind whatsoever.
Wait a moment there, Septimus. What's this cult of Heinrich, then? Ah, well, theirs is a religion worth diving into deeply, but not now. In a nutshell, the cult of Heinrich worships the god of the same name, the god of trade, commerce, and merchants. You may already know of him, though. They call him O Prospero in Astalia.
I do know that name, actually.
And Heinrich, he is known in the Empire as Handrich, outside of Marienburg anyway.
Oh, yeah, I know that name.
And neophytes, here in Tilea, he is known as Mercopio.
Oh, yes, we know of him.
Ah, I had hoped so, senior apprentice. Anyway, there are lots of legends about him, but pertinent to us right now is that he is believed to be the son of Manann by his cult in Marienburg. The cult of Manann, though, do not support this viewpoint. Others have made claims that he was, the somewhat, dull brother of my own patron, Ranald. Although, to be perfectly honest, well, I have my doubts. We'll explore that another day. Let's get back to Engla, eh?